You're fired. But I've worked here for 22 years. Funerals are for the living. No one shows up, it means no one cares, right?
With that one cold exchange, a man's 22 years of dedication are dismissed as inefficient, and the case he just received would become the very last of his career. The man delivering these harsh words is Mr. May's new boss. Mr. May is a civil servant. His job is to handle the final affairs for the unclaimed deceased in his district, bringing their solitary lives to a dignified close. His name is John May, and for 22 years he has treated what many would consider a dreadfully dull job like an art form. He never refers to the deceased as bodies or cases. To him, they are always my clients. Among their cold, leftover belongings, he acts like a detective, or perhaps more like a poet, piecing together the fragments of a once vibrant life. He carefully selects music that matches the deceased's style, chooses a funeral service according to their faith, and for every person he has never met, he writes a heartfelt, deeply personal eulogy.
She was born in the summer of 1945 as peace finally came to the world in Scarborough, the only daughter of Jack and Nora Ford. And what a joy it must have been for them to hold her.
The eulogies are sincere and moving, but tragically, he is always the only one in the church to hear them. Perhaps influenced by his work, Mr. May's own life is like a precision timepiece, orderly, solitary, and unchanging. Until he gets his last case, the deceased, a man named Billy, lived right across the street from his own home. The room is filled with empty bottles and the smell of decay. The only treasured possession is a photo album, chronicling the growth of a little girl. Just then, the layoff notice arrives. Citing low efficiency and excessive costs, his boss fires his most diligent and long-serving employee first. With 22 years of his quiet life brought to an abrupt halt, Mr. May is at a loss. He decides he must do everything in his power to handle this final case perfectly. To uncover Billy's past, he lies to his boss for the first time to ask for time off. For the first time, he takes someone's suggestion and swaps his unchanging black tea for a hot chocolate. For the first time, he tries a pork chop, a dish outside of his fixed menu. He begins to assemble a giant puzzle. Following the clues from the photos, he finds Billy's old workmate and learns he was a tough guy who stood up for his friends. He finds his ex-girlfriend, who tells him Billy was once a kind and gentle soul, but fell into ruin after injuring someone, and died never knowing he had a daughter. He finds his blind army buddy, who reveals that, on the battlefield, Billy was a hero who saved lives. A complex, contradictory, yet incredibly vivid picture of Billy begins to emerge before Mr. May's eyes. But every person he tracks down refuses to attend the funeral, unwilling to revisit the past. Meanwhile, Mr. May is paying out of his own pocket for the best burial plot and casket for Billy. In stark contrast, his replacement is crudely dumping the ashes of different individuals into a single, shared pit. His boss's words, "The dead are dead, no one cares," sting him once again. The professional dignity he upheld for 22 years is utterly shattered in this moment. He chases after his boss, not for his own sake, but for Billy's, begging for just a few more days. This time, he embarks on a journey at his own expense, and finally, at an animal shelter, he finds Billy's daughter, Kelly. When Kelly sees the photo album her father had treasured for so many years, the long-held resentment in her eyes finally begins to melt. And from that day on, a ray of light shines into Mr. May's life. Kelly calls. She has decided to attend her father's funeral. Later, when they meet, Mr. May excitedly tells her about all the preparations he has made for Billy, his voice gentle and earnest. At the end of their meeting, Kelly spontaneously invites him to have a cup of tea together after the funeral. In his 44 years of life, this is the first time he has ever been asked out by a woman. He rushes into a store like a teenager with his first crush, awkwardly picking out a cute cartoon mug as a gift, filled with an unprecedented hope for the future. He walks home, clutching the gift, embracing a joy that has been 44 years in the making. Then, a sudden, loud noise, and his life returns to silence. At 44 years old, Mr. May attends the last funeral of his life, his own. In the church, there is only a cheap casket and a silent priest. No guests, no eulogy. On the same day, in another part of the cemetery, Billy's funeral is taking place. All the friends and family Mr. May found for him have come. Mr. May's hearse drives quietly past them. Only Kelly glances back, as if saddened by the person who stood her up. As night falls, the cemetery settles into stillness. Mr. May's passing seems to have gone completely unnoticed. But in the next moment, the lonely souls he treated with such care and respect appear, one by one, before his grave. They stand in silence, quietly gazing at the man who lies here. It is a look of gratitude, of remembrance, and even more, it is the look of welcoming a hero home. Mr. May spent 22 years giving a final dignity to countless lonely souls, and at the end of his own life, those souls returned to offer him the most silent, yet the most magnificent, farewell. This is the story told in the film Still Life. It's a reminder that every seemingly ordinary life deserves to be treated with profound respect. And every bit of kindness and dignity we offer to others will, in some way, eventually come back to illuminate our own lives. If you were moved by this story, which is as gentle as it is heartbreaking, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. I'm Justin, and I'll see you in the next story.